Fancy meeting you here.
I'm Jill.
I'm Steph.
And we are the Bantering Banshees.
Late night lights and a mic turned on. History whispers, but it won't stay gone. Footsteps echo where the cold wind weaves. Two best friends chasing what no one believes. Cold spots, knock shadows in the hall. Give your name, don't answer the call. We're the Bantering Banshees, laugh in the dark, digging up legends, striking the spark. Haunted and history tangled tight. Grab your flashlight, we're hunting tonight. Bantering Banshees, welcome to the front.
And today we have a guest star with us. We have Ashely from Ghost Gossip.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad that I'm to be here.
Oh, we're
I've
very
been patiently waiting.
We are so excited. I am obsessed with your videos. I listen to your podcast all the time, and you remind me a lot of us with like the energy and the things you believe and the way that your vibe do your investigation.
Your vibe is very much like on our level. So we recognize game recognizes game.
Kindred spirits we are. That makes me so happy. Yes, that makes me so. Thank you so much. That truly means so much. Thank you.
Of course.
So I figured we would do a interview with you, and our fans who don't know you, yours started from the fact that you had a haunted house.
Yeah, I did. Yes, the bastard. You know, he was trying to run me out of my own house. But
that's rude. Rude and disrespectful.
It was really, he was quite rude.
But he slowly got warmer.
A little. He wasn't throwing candles at me in the end. You know what I mean? Progress.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same. We made progress. That's good.
You know, I had to learn how to talk to him because when I first moved in the house, you know, we didn't buy it because it was haunted. We had no idea. It was one of those things. We had blended our families. Our children are like almost triplets because we're blended. He has Irish twins. They're 13 months apart in age. And then my daughter's right between his two. So essentially we have triplets. It was a lot. And because we joined together later in life, you know, like middle age and have houses and furniture and animals, it was a process. So my daughter and I moved into his 1,600 square foot house with his two kids and one bathroom. And that was a nightmare. That was a horror podcast show. Okay.
Oh my God. What?
I know. I looked at my husband. We were not married at the time. And I looked at him and I was like, I don't like ultimatums, but if you don't fix that other bathroom, I am moving out.
Yeah. I say this with all the love in my heart, honey. If you don't give me somewhere else to wash my face, it's not going to end well.
No, I got to poop in peace, buddy. Like, I can't be like all these kids running in the bathroom. Are you done? What you doing? And they were like 6. No, they weren't 6, 7. We met. They were 6, 7, and 8 when we met. They were. Yeah. It was a lot. And I chose this life, ladies. I chose this life because he already had the children when I met him. And I was like, this sounds great.
They weren't going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, he's a wonderful man. So that, you know, that's a whole nother story. But so we were trying to function in 1,600 square foot. So we were desperate, but it was 2021. You know, houses were flying off the market. They were battling out in bid wars and stuff like that. And I am not the type to want to battle. And I truly believe the universe guides you wherever you're supposed to be. So this house hit the market. I got out of court and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God. So I called my real estate agent, called my husband. We went and looked at it. You know, because I'm clairsentient and clairaudient and all those clear things. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I always knew I could pick up energy. And I was like, this house is weird. This is really weird. There were mirrors everywhere, 32 mirrors everywhere, facing each other, wall to wall.
No, we don't face each other. No.
Oh, every room. Room.
No.
It's a portal.
That's a portal.
That's a.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
And it sat vacant for 4 years. And there was an
For a
easement on the
reason.
property, and there was running water through the backyard.
Oh my God.
It's like everything
more
you could
thing.
possibly need.
Check.
Also, one more, a mile away was one of those giant, electrical things that, radiate energy.
Yeah.
Power lines.
Oh.
Yep.
That was a mile away
Awesome.
from the house. So we were just sitting on a vortex of
Yeah.
energy.
Yes, you were.
And then, he died in the house. I didn't know that at the time. We just saw space. And so I made an offer. I'm in court the next day because I made an offer that day. I'm in court and my phone, like my watch is going crazy. And I'm like, so what I did for the court was if the judge was on the bench, I was on the bench. I was sitting in front of him. I was his clerk. I was handing him stuff constantly throughout trial and stuff. So my watch is going crazy. And I'm like, it's my realtor. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because we had like made 8 offers on houses. I'm about to like leave this man and disappear because our children never had to share a room before, and now all of a sudden our girls are sharing a room. They're about to kill each other. It was horrible.
Oh, damn.
And so I looked at my judge and I was like, and so he gave us a break. We took a little recess. I went out. She said, if you offer this, they'll accept it. And it was only like $3,000 more or $4,000 more. I was like, okay. And then when I met her, she was like, I don't know what it is. I've been waiting to sell this house for 4 years and I just knew it was time. And when I got your offer, I knew you were the one. And I was like, that's weird, but I love it. Me too.
But I really wanted 4,000 more just for insurance.
Right.
Maybe she had plans. I don't know. And she's elderly. So it was, whatever. I think somebody was telling her, ask for more, but she didn't feel, no, I don't know this. This is just the feeling I get. Her sons were probably telling her, you can get more, but she didn't want to ask too much more. So she was trying to find like a
reasonable amount to request. Yeah.
Yeah. So it appeases the sons who are like, ask more. But she's like, I don't need the money, this house, But anyway, So when I bought the house, we closed. I met her and her son, went right to the house to sage it. Didn't know what I was doing. Okay. Saged it with all the windows shut.
I was just going to ask, wait, were the windows closed? Oh.
Every single one of them. All of them were closed. We were locked up tight. And I just kicked that energy around. Bless this house. Bless this house. Bless this house. Bless. What am I doing, Daniel? Daniel, what am I doing? And the kids were like, what are y'all doing? I don't know. Bless this house. And then to make matters worse, I said, the painter met me at the house that night and gave me a quote. And he started the next week. And the house looked straight out of 1992 or 90210, whichever one. Pastel pinks, greens, and blues, sponge paint, the dining room. So we wanted to paint before we moved all the furniture in. And so we painted, we switched out some light fixtures. And then, I just came in like a wrecking ball to this man's life. I had no clue I was doing anything wrong. And I learned really quickly, I screwed up and I disturbed his afterlife real quick. And he made himself known to me very, very quickly. And I was like, I'm going crazy.
What was your first interaction with him?
My first, in my closet, a little bit about this house. It was set up with 2 masters. One was on the main floor and one was on the second floor. Him and his mother lived in this house. And so it was designed for multi-families or multiple adults, I guess I should say. He always lived with Mama. I have a lot I could say about that, but that's a podcast. Not a walking red flag. I don't know. Anyway, so she lived on the first floor. And then that's a lint. I've been having orbs in here, so pay attention. They come from her and they go across. So this house hangs out back there, but she's also here. So I've been having orbs appear here and go behind me. But anyway.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
I always got energy around me. It's weird. But when we finally moved in, I was in my closet. We had changed out the light fixture to something with a lot of bling because I am who I am and I love bling. And I noticed my father raised me to shut every single light off. Like, those girls are like, she lit up a room. Not this one. I turn all the lights off. You know what I mean? Don't you dare say that about me. You're not going to put a target.
It's a bullshit. It's a bullshit.
They're all lying. I didn't light up one single room my whole life. Okay. I love the dark. Turn that shit off.
I walk in and I make it darker.
You got that right. I need a shirt that says I make the room darker.
Because I'm not paying this electrical bill.
You got that right. I had a 3-story house. That shit's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
No, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So we had 5,500 square foot. So we finally had the room to breathe, And I noticed that in the closet, I felt like I was being watched. That was like the first thing. It was like, I never feel alone. I always feel like I'm going to turn around and see Daniel behind me or one of the kids behind me or a stranger behind me. But there was nobody there. And so one day I left my closet and I turned the light off and I get to my room and I see light and I turn around and the light was on. Now this one wasn't on a remote. This one was the switch, the hard switch. Yep. And I was like, maybe I didn't turn it off all the way.
Yeah, maybe I didn't push down all the way and it flipped back up. Yep.
Exactly. Like logical brain people. I'm like, okay, it was me. So then we had put a new fan in the sunroom, which was right outside the living room and the kitchen. And that one has a remote because all the ceilings were super high. So there was no way if I wanted to change it that I could reach it. I'm shorty, nobody ever accused me of being tall. So I needed to be able, I love a fan, turn the ceiling fan off and I might die. So I needed something with a remote. And it had 2 light switches and they would always be on, but the fan would be on, but the light would always be off. Because like I said, yeah. I don't like artificial light. Like this one right in front of my face is like, oh my God. But that started coming on. And I would like turn it off, walk out of the room, come back on, and I'd come back in and it was on. And I was like, and I'd be home alone. And I'm just like, maybe I didn't hit the button. Maybe it's a frequency from somebody else's remote. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But it started happening so regularly and there was no rhyme or reason to it. It happened at 3 o'clock in the morning. It would happen at 5 in the afternoon. It would happen so infrequent or regularly, but there was no pattern. There was no consistent pattern to it. It was just really weird. And it typically happened when my dogs were in the room, but my dogs aren't turning lights on or off, so
yeah,
the remote was not in there with them. So I don't know. Probably something electrical, right? This is just electrical. Well, then I just kept feeling watched. I started hearing footsteps. I started hearing voices. I would hear somebody go, "Mama," at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I know that my kids are not awake. Oh. And I'm like, that's weird. Okay, that's weird. Well, the kids weren't telling me at the time, but they felt like they were being watched. They felt like they were never alone. And one day, our daughter, our youngest, who we talked about before we started, so she started getting really aggressive, like so aggressive that she was physically attacking the other 2. And I'm like, this isn't normal. She threw a cup so hard at our son's head that it was like plastic cup, but it cut his head open right here. And then I watched her haul off and punch my daughter in the face in the backyard once. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
It was really bad. And I'd tell my husband, because, at this point, we're still not married. We had blended houses. And I had to tell him, like, my main priority, I love you and I love our kids, but my main priority is protecting my daughter. Yeah, so you have to get her help. There's something going on. Well, then it's like she aged. She was like aging. She's our youngest. Now, when I say she's our youngest, she's 6 months younger than my daughter, but technically she's the youngest.
Right.
Mm-hmm. She would come downstairs and she looked like she hadn't slept in years. She was big bags under her eyes. Her eyes were real swollen. And I finally went, Victoria, what is going on? What is happening? And she finally said, Ashely, I am seeing a man in the loft. And last night he was in my room and he was reaching for me. And I knew in that moment, everything that I had been experiencing and feeling, and that sense of oppression that I was feeling. Oh, I just got full body chills. Oh, did one of you get full body chills?
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that. I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. What I'm feeling is actually what I'm feeling, and I got to do something. I went into like mama bear mode, but I didn't know what I was doing because at that point, I'm the one that saged the house with the windows shut. Clearly I was a beginner. So I have a friend who I worked with the court, and she sages houses. So I had called her, and she actually lived in my neighborhood. Thank God. I called her and I told her what I did, and she goes, "Oh, can I say the F word? Can you bleep that out?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. She said, "You fucked that up. You have pissed it off." And I was like, Okay. So my husband at this point thinks I'm crazy. And we have since talked. That was a really dark time in our marriage because I was going through like a spiritual attack and he was talking to me like I was crazy. And I was actually getting physically ill. I was having rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. I was having migraines daily. I was having all these random symptoms that nothing made sense. And I spent thousands of dollars on doctors trying to figure out because I thought I was dying and nothing was wrong. They couldn't find anything wrong. And my husband's like making me feel small and discounting me. And I'm like, so when our daughter told us that, he was like, okay, okay. So my friend comes over. I have all the windows open. She's like, open every single window. I had every single window in that huge house open. My brave big husband went and sat in the backyard because he's like, nope. And we started. He's so funny. When it comes to this stuff, he's more of a believer now, but he noped right out into that backyard and sat on the bench like he had gotten scolded. He literally sat there like this.
Oh my God.
Like I put him in the corner. So
He's like,
oh yeah. He's like terrified. He's terrified. He's more open now. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. We didn't have to throw the whole man out. Thank God. So we started in the basement because the basement, what I found out through the neighbors and through his sister and communicating with family and stuff like that, I found out that he ran a business out of the basement. So he lived on the 3rd floor. His mom lived on the 1st floor, and the basement was where he trained beauty queens, and he was once Mr. Universe. He was a very large man, and he used his size to intimidate. It all made sense. It was all starting to make sense. I was like, eh. So we started in the basement. When my friend started reading the prayer and we lit the sage, my whole body covered, as it is doing now, in the most painful chills. And I just kind of looked at her because I've never done this, like, I guess professionally or the right way. So I was like, is this normal? And so she's like, yep. And we just started and we started going around the perimeter and she was doing her thing. And she's very dramatic. She's very theatrical. So like watching her do it was like creepy, but beautiful all at the same time, because I was like, this is so wonderful. I didn't do any of this shit. So we get to the 1st floor. She does my bathroom and my closet a lot because that's where I was feeling so watched. And I was like, so uncomfortable in that space. And then we did the sunroom, and we came into the kitchen. And when we got to the section of the kitchen next to the stove, it was like kind of the walkway to the garage, our sage went out. And I'm like, is that normal?
that would have been my first question. I would have been like, is that supposed to do that?
You're like, can that happen?
Is this, are we doing it the right way? Because when I was willy-nilly saging up there, nothing like that happened. So she's trying to light it back. And I'm just holding, like, I'm just there. And I'm like, what's happening? Finally, she got it to relight. And the moment she did that, I could not breathe all of a sudden. I was like feeling like I was having an allergic reaction or anaphylaxis. I couldn't swallow. I couldn't breathe. I was like, and she looked at me and in the most powerful voice, she said, you have to keep going. And I was like, at this point, I'm terrified because I'm feeling this energy come out of my skin. I feel like I have nails. I feel like I'm choking. I feel like I'm about to fall out on the floor. And the moment I'm able to take a breath, the smoke detector in his old bedroom went off on the top floor. And she said, where is that? And I said, that's in his room. And so if you saged, this isn't billowing smoke. And we were right under a smoke detector in the kitchen,
Yeah.
There wasn't anything really billowing enough to set that off.
And you hadn't made it up there yet.
No, we hadn't even been up there yet. And that went off and I was like, and Daniel said he heard it go off and he's like, what the hell are they doing?
Right? He's hearing this outside and he's like, all right, going back to the 1,600 square foot house with one bathroom. Real quick.
I think we still owned it at that time, so we could have.
Yeah.
And so what's crazy is, see, I always forget this story. I always forget this story, but let me finish this part and then I'll circle back if you don't mind.
No.
No, not at all.
What I found out later is he died in the kitchen where I was standing. Something that I've learned through my mediumship and my mentor and talking to other psychic mediums that have tried to help guide me through my sensitivities and my gifts is that he was trying to communicate with me the best way he could, which was through intimidation. And I didn't realize at the time he was showing me how he died.
Oh.
He died of anaphylaxis he had a medical emergency and he had gone to the hospital, had anesthesia, had an allergic reaction to the anesthesia, came home. His sister was caring for him, and he ended up having another allergic reaction. And the ambulance did not reach him in time, and he died in the kitchen where I was standing.
Holy cow.
Holy shit.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So after that, I said I'll circle back. We finished saging, and that was the only cool. I say cool. For me, it was looking back. I mean, it was terrifying, but looking back, I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a really cool experience.
Absolutely.
I wasn't alone. It was a shared experience with
Mhm.
somebody, and it wasn't just me, because a lot of the experiences I was having I was by myself. And
Right.
it was hard to try to explain to people, especially skepticals like my husband or skeptics. He's much better now. We worked on him. He's much better now. But it was so nice to have somebody standing there and knowing I'm not over exaggerating this. I'm not making this up. This is something I'm living with and experiencing. And just because somebody else isn't experiencing doesn't mean it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
So before that happened, his sister had told me when they built the house, her brother had put 4 Bibles in the corner of the basements or the corners of the basement to bless the house. When we moved in the house, they had left some furniture, and he was a very religious man. And she had asked me, is it okay if I leave some furniture? We have been cleaning the house up for 4 years, and she was elderly, and they were from another state coming down to clean it out. So I was like, yes, it's fine. We will handle, we'll sift through it, whatever.
Mhm.
We found one of those Bibles. And I was like, huh, okay, this is one of the ones she was talking about. Okay. So I decided I wanted to mail it to her, but because he had passed away and his mom died 4 months after him. So I was like, I don't know how to ask her if she wants this. I don't want to bring up,
Mhm.
anything. So I put it away. Well, one day I was coming into the basement because all of our boxes were like in the basement. So we could kind of sort and sift,
Yeah.
And I noticed that the Bible was out from where I put it and it was on the floor. And there was a piece of paper that was in the Bible. It was a typed piece of paper and it was folded up. It was on the floor and it was opened as well. And it was talking about being saved. And I was like, that's weird. The kids must have moved it. Folded that piece of paper, put it in the Bible, closed the Bible, put it back up. When I come back down a few days later, it was out again, piece of paper out. And at this point, I looked at my kids and I was like, are you moving this Bible? And I can tell when my kids lie. I'm a human lie detector. They go, what Bible? And I'm like, okay. So
Good answer.
yep. And I could tell they genuinely did not know what I was talking about. So I ended up putting it out of sight, out of mind. Way. Nobody knew where I had put it except me. Well, I think it might have happened one more time. So many things happened at a very close together time. Sometimes I forget the timeline of when the events happened because it was a lot. It was something like almost every day. So
Dear God.
fast forward after I saged, I thought I got rid of this guy. I thought it was better. I thought because after we saged, it did feel better. It didn't feel oppressive anymore. It didn't feel heavy. Now, it didn't feel light and airy either, but it didn't feel like what it was feeling.
Hmm.
And so I thought we did good. I did good. He's gone. I have ADHD, and I'm not sure if y'all do, but if you do, you might understand. I love
Welcome.
stacking stuff and then putting stacks in bags and then putting bags away to sift through later.
Yeah. Mhm.
Kids never get to, but then
No.
stuff just dies in those bags. So I was trying to clean my closet out because I had so many bags with stuff in them in my closet from when we moved. And I was going through this bag and I'm pulling out papers. And I pull out this one piece of paper and I opened it up and it was the paper from the Bible in
Oh.
my closet. And I screamed like one of those horror movie screams, because I would have never put that in my closet. I would have never taken that out of the Bible.
Oh my God.
I text my husband and I read him for filth. And I was like, if you did this, this is so effed up. You know how I feel. You know this guy. Da, 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 da. He goes, Ashely, I don't even know where you put the Bible. I haven't touched it. So I ended up giving him the Bible. Like, I went back down. I got the Bible off the shelf that was in the storage room, and I looked in it, and the page was, of course, gone. And I took it to him and I said, don't tell me what you do with it. I don't want to know. And I was scared to get rid of it because he was already tormenting me. I didn't want to get rid of it and piss him off more, you know?
Right.
I said, Daniel, he doesn't seem to bother you. So you do what you will with it. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to even think about it anymore. And so he got rid of it. I don't know what he did. He doesn't even remember what he did with it. So I don't even know. But that was the last time I dealt with that Bible. And let me tell you something. If I find that Bible in this house since we've moved, I will burn this house to the ground. Just kidding. I won't. So after that, I blessed the house. I was like, well, sage didn't seem to work. Let me get some holy water. My mom always brought me holy water. She's like, here you go. You're dealing with this holy water. Here you go. So I blessed the house. It got better. It got a little bit better. Felt a little bit better. And then he just kept on, like the lights flickering, the baby gate shaking in the middle of the night, hearing hello at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then our closet light was a motion light, kept coming on and off at like all hours of the night. And so finally I went upstairs because I had moved my daughter out of the bedroom where she saw him reaching for her. So we had moved her to a different room and it was better. And I said,
she gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you listen here, you son of a bitch. And, at this point, I haven't talked crap to him. I don't want to make anybody angry. I've been really nice. And at this point, I'm done. So I cussed him out. I read him for filth. I called him every name in the book. And I said, you can have this room right here. This is your room. This is where you stay. Stop fucking with my kids. And this is where you stay. And if not, I will hire higher ups and I will run you out of here so fast. And he was better. But let me tell you, when I went in that room, when I went in that room, because that was our guest room, if I had,
oh my God. Oh my God.
We didn't have guests often. Nobody ever stayed. That was one way. You can stay the night, but you gotta shack up away and have fun.
You have a roommate at all times.
Yep, have fun. He likes to watch. You know.
Oh my God.
But we really never had guests. I will say though, because my husband had sleep apnea and I have insomnia, and that's a whole nother thing. I had sleep paralysis, all that. He would go. That sleep paralysis happened through all of this. That was happening as well. I'm telling you, so many things happened. It's hard to have a timeline. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I gave him that room, and one night my husband was sawing logs, and I almost killed him. I was so tired, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go lay down in the guest room because I didn't have. The couch we had at the time wasn't long enough for me to sleep on comfortably. And I didn't want to like this. And I didn't want to sleep with my daughter because the foot up my rib, So I went into the guest room and I could feel him. So my mediumship, I can't really see them in front of me, but I can see them in my mind's eye, or I can see them clearly if I'm in that half awake, half asleep. Mm-hmm. So I finally dozed off and I was in that half awake, half asleep. And he's standing at the end of my bed looking at me, and I swear he was saying, you told me this is my room. You told me this is where I have to stay. Why are you in my room? And so I got up and I went laid on the couch.
He was reading you to filth.
He was.
He was like, I am listening to the rules you gave me. Doesn't mean you get to just come in here all willy-nilly.
Exactly. And so I ended up, my office was on the first floor. Oh, there's another thing. So my podcast studio was in the basement, which was his tanning bedroom. And he presented himself as a shadow in front of me once. I mean, he was huge, 7 foot tall. There was no way that shadow could have manifested like that. I was by myself. There was only 2 sources of light, and this big thing moved between the 2 lights. It was, And so I was like, I'm going to make my office there's a little space. There was a bedroom right next to our bedroom. And so I ended up putting a guest bedroom in there and all my podcast stuff in there. And I think that's where his sister used to stay. That's kind of the vibe I get because it's a really light and airy vibe, and that's how she is in life. So I was like, I love this room. This is my favorite space. I'm just going to move everything there. And so he was happy. I was out of his tanning bedroom and I was out of the upstairs room. what I found out later is that room that my daughter was in originally, that I moved him and I gave him that was his, that was like his bar. And that's where he would hang out. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He was something. I would look upstairs, like we were working in the yard once and I felt like somebody was watching me, and even Daniel was like, I feel like somebody's watching me. We turn around and the blinds in the room were like this. And I'm like, oh, he's judging us.
He's judging us.
He loved his landscape and everything was prickly. Everything had thorns. Everything was sharp. And we have kids, so we were trying to like
soften it up a little.
Yeah. And I could just tell he was not happy that we were pulling stuff out. And then the backyard, oh dear Lord, the backyard, it was like a jungle, enchanted forest type. And we bulldozed all that shit to the ground and took it out because we were dogs. And there were snakes everywhere. Like,
oh no.
I will send y'all a picture. I'll send y'all a picture of what it looked like, because it was beautiful, but overgrown, and it was a snake pit. And I mean, I saw a snake about 8 foot long back there, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, one of these things is gonna fall out and land on me. I can't do this. So we cleaned it out.
Oh my God.
So before I sold the house, I had my app, my spirit talker thing, necrometer running. And I was in the house. It was my final walkthrough before I handed over the keys. And I was having a moment with him, because at this point we were getting along better. He was a little bit more playful. He was sad we'd moved out, because at this point we had moved out. We were about 6 months not living there, but I still owned the house. So I was still going in and out and talking to him and stuff. Actually did investigate the house after I moved out. And I had the app running, and the app was, it was just my phone just sitting on the kitchen counter, and I'm walking around doing stuff. And it said, I am alone. It said backyard. I'm alone in the backyard. And then I made the new owners like this scent, like it was like just a little scent warmer. And I was smelling it and said, I like that scent. And I was like, and then I was leaving, and it said, I miss my family. And then it called me a bitch. So I was like,
oh, there it is. There it is.
Love you too, honey.
Yeah. Bless your heart. All righty.
Oh my God.
Him, and I'm telling you, that was, if I didn't believe before, living through all that was enough to make me believe. It was just, I mean, like one day when we were really like battling it out, I had a shelf in my room, and I still do, and it's got an A-frame, and there was a candle from Dollar General in it, one of those thick base candles, kind of like, it's behind Roberta, I don't want her to fall, but just a cylinder candle,
Yeah.
And I had walked past this shelf forever, in and out, in and out. And one day I'm walking, and that thing had to move forward and over to come out of the A-frame, and it with velocity came in my direction. And I looked at it, I said, did you just throw a candle at me?
It doesn't get scared. Gives it goes attitude.
Gets pissed off. Like, bitch, you trying to start a fight right now?
Those are fighting words. Where I'm from, you don't throw something at me. Like, I'm Puerto Rican. I am the queen of throwing shit. Don't you mess with me. Okay? I will throw something. I will throw a chulaca in a minute. But yeah, he threw a candle at me. But damn. Okay. Fighting dirty. Okay. Don't make me sage, Wade. I know how
to do it this time.
This time. Well, you know what I did? I'll tell you what I did. This really. So one of my guy friends that I met early on in my podcasting, he's like, have you called out to your ancestors? And I was like, do what? Come again? And he's like, call out to your ancestors. They will help you from the other side. So at this point, I was desperate, And so I was like, I called out to my grandfather, my grandmother, my best friend that passed away in a car wreck when I was a teenager, his grandparents, and everybody. And like, I don't know, I was calling out to everybody. And I noticed a really hard shift in the energy of the house. Like it improved so much. And I was like, this is weird. And then I started having visions of this older woman in my head, and I didn't recognize her. And so I was talking to Daniel one day, and I was like, I'm seeing this woman. I don't know where she's coming from. And then he, probably a couple days later, was like, that's my mom's mom. And I went, what?
Oh my gosh.
So I went I went and found a picture of her because I described her to a T. And I went and found a picture on her on his mom's Facebook page. And I was like, that's her.
Oh my gosh.
So she was letting me know I'm here. And let me tell you,
Holy
between his
shit.
grandmothers and my grandmother, and my best friend, when I investigated the house after I moved out, I channeled him. I didn't know I could channel. Fun fact, I can channel. And that shit's a lot. And I asked, one of the questions that I wanted asked is, have you met my grandmother and Catherine, my friend? And he made my ears hurt so bad. Like almost, and to me, that was confirmation. Yes, he did.
He got an
Wasn't a
earful.
thing.
Yes, he did.
He's like, thanks a lot, bitch.
Yeah.
Yep,
He's like,
thanks a hell of a lot.
did I meet them? They won't shut the fuck up. What did you send here? Good God. That's what he's like. He's like, guess what? You're gone. They're still here, and my ears are still ringing.
Yep. Hey, Wayne. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Love you.
Best of luck, honey.
Toodles. I'm telling you what, my spirit team, like if I go into a haunted location and I ask for protection and I don't clarify that I would like to feel something, I won't feel anything. Like nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm like, y'all,
Wow.
I love y'all so much. Thank you so much. Like I went to the Missouri State Penitentiary, felt nothing. But then I go into like if I have to tell them like, okay, protect me from bad shit. Okay. Don't let anything attach to me, but I would like to have my psychic medium abilities.
Yeah.
Don't shut them down, please. When I went to the Biltmore last weekend or 2 weeks ago, I walked into a museum and I was like, I mean, I was overwhelmed. So I have to be very specific with them because if I ask for protection.
Oh.
Yeah. The
Oh.
Biltmore Estate is normal.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, we're not far from there.
We've gone to the Biltmore Hotel in Providence, Rhode Island, and have had wonderful experiences there. So that's why when you
I
said
was like,
Biltmore,
museum.
she goes, the Biltmore. And I was like, no, honey, the one in North Carolina. Yeah, the
Yes,
big
yes,
ass one. Big ass motherfucker.
Oh.
That house, so I don't think you can investigate it, but I've never liked it. Like I say that not like, oh, this place is too small for me. Not like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That house is anytime I went in there, I felt like I was suffocating. Like it, and I thought it was the living, but now that I'm more aware, it's the energy in the house that's overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
And so Daniel's like, do you want to do the tour of the house while we're here? I went, nope. And so instead we went to just a museum of the Vanderbilts. That's their name, right? I think so. The Vanderbilts, like their stuff, their clothing, and they were supposed to be on the Titanic, but something happened and they weren't on the Titanic. But some of their employees were on the Titanic, and
oh yes.
and I walked in there and I'm on the verge of tears. My body is responding, and I'm looking at my husband. I was like, do you feel that? And he's like, it's a little warm in here, but that's about it. And I'm like, God love Daniel, right? Bless his heart.
Oh my God, we all need a Daniel.
We all need a Daniel.
It's a
I was
little
like,
stuffy that could crack a window, I guess, but no.
exactly. And I'm like on the verge of tears. Like my eyes are watering, and I'm like, it was just so much energy hitting me all at once. And then they have a samurai outfit and samurai swords. I say outfit like fabulous. They're armor, you know. I doubt they were like fabulous back then, but they had 3 samurai swords because Mr. Vanderbilt collected items. And one little snarky bitch in there was like, oh, I call this hoarding. They call it collecting. And I'm like, do you know where you are? You are at one of the wealthiest families states. This is a collection. Samurai swords? This is not a hoard.
No.
This is history. These are artifacts.
Thank you. I'm like, I looked at her and I was like, and then she did see me looking at her like this. And she kind of like, she's like, I'm gonna.
She's you. Oh my God, my face. I cannot. The amount of times I am told to fix my face.
I'm like, oh no,
I get told that all the time.
Anyway,
When I
Doctor's
worked for the court.
offices, investigations. I've been sitting in a doctor's office with my mother, and I had a mask on at the time, so you couldn't even see this part. But I was sitting there and I was just like glaring at this guy. And I looked over at my mother and she was like, stop it. And I was like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, I was livid. But like, I get told on a regular basis, hey, fix your face. Okay. No,
Daniel will
that's
do this.
okay. No, she's happy. She is. It's okay.
It's fine. Daniel does this because I'll be like,
Yep.
and
I sit there and I'm
yeah.
just like,
when I worked for the court, I was right in front of everybody, right? You know, front and
oh
center.
God.
And so my
Oh.
coworker would be like, because I'm seriously, I could tell when people are lying. So anytime somebody starts lying to me, I do this. Fix your face. Actually, fix your face. And I'm like, oh.
I
But
would
yeah,
never make it.
No.
I'd be sitting there going, you lying. Shut the fuck up. Like,
Mhm.
I would not be
That's
able-
pretty much like I would say to my head, like,
Yeah.
This
Sure you
guy.
did.
Right. Yeah. Okay. You're innocent. Gotcha.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that house, it changed my world. That like, it blew my senses wide open. Like, it blew, I was sensitive before. Always knew I was sensitive. You know what I mean? Like I was sensitive. I could just tell, like, you can walk into a room, I don't know you, but I'll know instantly if you're going through something because I could feel it.
Mhm.
People I don't even know, like I went to a play once and I was sitting on the front row and this girl came out to do her number and it was really emotional, but my body started to tremble. And I'm like, she was scared and I could feel her trembling in my
Oh.
skin.
My gosh.
So
Oh
I
God, I'm
knew
not sensitive like that.
Wow.
it was a lot. And like when my son does something wrong and he gets scared, like if he starts like, oh God, I'm gonna get in trouble because he's the oldest. So he's the one that doesn't want to do anything wrong, you know?
Yeah.
He'll start trembling and I'll start trembling and I'll be like, baby, you don't have to be scared. We're just talking to you. It's okay. And he's like, how'd you know I was trembling? I'm like, oh, do we have to talk about this again?
Lynn feels.
Oh, that's absolutely,
Oh my
absolutely. One of our coworkers, we will all walk in the morning and we walk in and we say good morning and we, and all of that. And she'll walk in and she'll say good morning and you say hi and she'll just go, what's wrong?
What's up?
And we'll be like,
Mhm.
what? Nothing.
Yeah. She's
Why?
like, nope, your energy is
And
off.
she'll be
What's
like,
going
no,
on?"
your vibe is
Mhm.
so not normal. She did this to me last week.
She did it to me too.
And I was like,
Oh, I love her
I was
already.
like, no. I was like, it's not a big deal. I just like got stuff on my mind. She's like, yeah, but you're carrying this like way differently. And so I like talked to her. And after I talked to her, I was like, okay, I
Oh.
feel better now. Like,
Oh, she's a healer. I love that.
oh, she
Yeah.
is incredible.
It's
And she
like,
doesn't
you
even
have-
realize it's like that kind of gift.
Yeah. I was like,
Like-
I'm
Mhm.
just tired. She's like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was like, oh, I just, think, Adrian at school and this, that, and the other, my son, and she was like, is
Oh,
that
my girls can hit the threshold and I'll be in my studio and I'll be like,
it?
and I'll walk down and look at them and I'll look at each one of them because they're in 8th grade and they're dealing with a lot, but I'll look at each one of them and I'll be like, how's your day? But I'll be able to pinpoint which one it is within seconds. And then I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, they hate it. I also can hear them. And when they don't speak out loud and they speak in their minds, I can hear them. Sometimes I answer them. That really freaks them out. It freaks me out too, because I swear
Oh
some days I
my
have my back turned and I think they are actually talking. Victoria came downstairs once and she was singing a No Doubt song. My husband and I are going to go see No Doubt in Vegas in May for his birthday. And so I started, are you going to be there?
No, but that's
Oh,
so
okay.
exciting. Oh my God.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, if you're going to be there, tell me. But anyway.
Oh no, we wouldn't. Trust me, we wouldn't. Oh.
So I started singing with her and I was in the living room and she was in the kitchen. So I couldn't, but I heard her as plain as day. And she was singing, like walking into spider webs. And I was like, leave a message and I'll call you back. And she stopped. And she's like, I was singing in my head. And I went, you weren't singing out loud? And Daniel goes, mm-mm, nope. And I'm like,
Whoa.
and so anytime they're in trouble and then we ask them a question and they're not answering, I will say what they're saying in their head. And it's just, and my middle child, who's my little resident skeptic, she's, yikes. She's like, Mom, I hate when you do that. Get out of my head. Stop it. I'm like, listen, I can't control it. You're very loud. Stop talking in your head.
It will fix everything.
Oh, you control that.
Right. Right. Like, ugh. I was going to tell y'all something. I can't remember. It just zoop, just disappeared. Maybe it'll come back to me. But yes, the house truly changed my life. And that's how the podcast was born. I was walking at 4:30 in the morning. I was doing 75 hard. And so I was working out twice a day and doing all that. So I'd wake up at like 4 in the morning and walk. And I was listening to Two Girls, One Ghost. And they were talking about gossiping about ghosts. And I went, ghost gossip. And
Oh my
I
God.
just, that's how it was born. And I originally started it to tell the story of my house and to also find like-minded people who have gone through this, because something that I've learned is everybody has some kind of story. When they hear that you like paranormal, they're like, my grandmother's house was once,
Yes.
or this
Yep.
basement once, or all this stuff. And I was like, I wanted a safe community, because sometimes the paranormal community isn't safe. And
Correct.
it can be a little judgmental, and it can be, what I've learned, a lot of hate. And I wanted to provide a space mainly for myself. And I know I don't want to sound selfish, but I was creating a space that I would want to be in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That you
And
want other people to be in as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, that doesn't
Exactly.
sound selfish at all. That sounds like you having a target.
And keeping
Yes.
yourself protected.
Yep.
Yes. And I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't know anything about protection. Like, right now I do water wards and crystals and all sorts of stuff, but I didn't know about protection before. I was just out there just, saging with the window shut. I don't know. And so
Listen, we've
wanted
all
to-
done it, okay? You're not alone. We've all made the mistake. And then we're like, oh,
That makes a lot of
nothing
sense.
happened.
Yeah. First time at the Conjuring House, we definitely did it wrong.
Oh, 100% did that wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay. We learned.
Yeah. And it was just one of those things. And so, yeah. And then I didn't do collabs. I was trying to work full time. And so the podcast was born somewhere between the end of 2022 and the beginning of 2023. I can't remember, because I had a really bad episode of imposter syndrome. And I was worried that I'm going to look like a fool and then I'm not good enough. And so I deleted everything. And then I went to the Crescent Hotel, and I had an experience there. I had a few experiences there. And I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I got back from that trip in February 2024, reposted everything. And then when I left my career, we had a really traumatic 2024. We had some stuff happen. And I took some time off work to take care of my family. And then when I came back, they were so hateful to me. They ignored me. And I asked my boss, like, why are they icing me out? And she goes, well, you made more work for them, so of course they're mad at you. And then told me that if I was, yep. And then, she wasn't as cold as I'm going to say it, but this is exactly how I heard it. And these were her words: if you are going to resign, you need to do it sooner rather than later.
Oh,
Wow.
So that
Oh,
Friday I walked in and put my resignation on her desk.
Okay.
Don't call my bluff.
Yeah.
oh my
No.
God.
That's, oh God.
And what I realized, I worked for the federal court system for 15 years. I started at age 25. I left right before I turned 40. And I grew up there. Your brain doesn't wait. See, perimenopause. This is fun. It doesn't, your brain is not developed until you're 25 years old. So
Yep.
I literally became who I was at the court system. They were my family. And when I needed them most, my husband was not able to drive for 6 months. My children were being ripped apart by somebody, his ex. I'm just going to say it, his ex. And she was tormenting us. And when I needed support the most, and the people that I was with the most treated me like shit. And I realized then, if I die or something happens to me, my job will have my job listed within a week. My family will never replace me. And so I stepped down from my position. And that was absolutely the best thing I could have done. And they all told me I was stupid. They all told me that,
of course,
you don't leave the federal system. Federal jobs are so hard to get. The benefits. I said, what good are the benefits if I'm dead?
Yep.
there you go.
So I regretted leaving for probably 3 months because I felt so lost. I mean, this was my identity. I was
Yeah.
I was the clerk. I was a deputy clerk. I was the courtroom deputy. This was my identity. I didn't know who I was anymore. So I decided, you know what? I have this podcast. I'm going to focus on it. And I really started pushing, and people were like, you just kind of materialized. I said, well, I was around. I was just faceless. And so I finally started putting my face out there, and then it just blew up. And in 2025, I started doing collabs for the first time ever. And then it morphed into this. And that people say gossip. Do you gossip? I don't gossip about the living. Okay. You want to come and talk shit about another creator? Don't do that to me. Just don't.
Yep.
But I'm going to gossip about haunted locations. I'm going to gossip about the ghost that's in your grandmama's basement. I'm going to gossip about the little cryptid or something that you've seen, like, because those stories, they impacted others. And I love that people trust me with those vulnerabilities. And because it helps me grow, and it helps provide them a sense of comfort and healing to talk about it with somebody who's not going to discredit them or discount them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's, I think, kind of very similar, not very similar, but similar to how kind of this or very organically just kind of, we started working together, and I had left a job that I had been at for almost 7 years, and I felt very integrated in. It was a main hospital in our state that my family had worked in. My stepfather had retired from, was a respected name. My mother had retired from, is a respected name. And I felt almost like I was disappointing them by not continuing like the legacy, I guess.
Yeah.
But I had to leave because this was not okay being there.
I understand.
And I was about a month without a job before the posting came.
Learning some new tea today.
Before the posting came. Yeah, I don't think I've ever told anybody that I was jobless before I came to you guys. So I left my job, and it was very like, I'm impulsive. And so I was like, if you guys can't support me, and if I'm bringing these issues to you in regards to the way things are running, and you guys are just like, well, can't do anything about it, but you need to be nicer. I was like, no, you guys can kick rocks.
You need to fix your face.
Exactly. Oh, God. Oh, and this was before I got Botox. So you can imagine what these brows were doing. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, girl. So bad. So I left, and I saw this posting for a medical assistant at a dermatology office. I have never been a medical assistant or been in a medical office. I worked at an outpatient draw station, like very fast paced, and like I had like maybe 30 seconds to a minute with a patient, and then it was like, all right, out the door, next one. And I interview at this place, and I'm like, this place is so cool. Like, only met our manager, our lead MA at the time, and the owner. And I was like, oh my gosh, these women are fantastic. I love the energy here, this, that, and the other thing. And I started working there, and it was like, I met her, and she thought I was the creepiest person in the world.
Mind you, she had Pennywise the Clown smile because she was so excited to work here that she had this smile that wasn't hers.
I walked in, I was like, hi.
And I was like,
oh. Yeah. Everyone was like, she's really happy.
I was like, I'm the golden retriever in this building. Like, oh no, this is a lot.
Yeah. So we ended up finding out so much we had in common. My son's birthday is Halloween. Her wedding anniversary is Halloween.
Nice.
Your birthday is in between my husband and my stepdaughter.
Yep. It's like 2, 3, 4. I got engaged on July 8th, you got engaged on July 9th. Like, just very weird coincidences. And we're only 2 months apart. She's November of 88 and I'm January of 89. So like, we're very, like, we grew up around the same times. And just finding out that she loved spooky and and the paranormal, not just like book spooky or movie spooky. She liked everything. I was like, oh, okay. And we started vibing. And one day she just walked up to me at work. I was like in the middle of cleaning a room and she just comes around the corner. She goes, hey, do you want to go to the Conjuring house with me? And I was like,
Yes.
fuck yes. And she was like,
Now?
okay,
Are we leaving now?
She's like, okay, I wasn't sure if you were going to want, I was like, abso-fucking-lutely. Like, are you kidding me? Of course. Everybody at our job loves Halloween, loves spooky. There's like
I love that.
14, 16 of us.
16
of us. All of us. Like, we joke that our office has like
some sort of like
energy draw,
energy pull.
like
Yeah.
the right, because we had a number of people come in to interview and they've said like, oh, it's not the right fit, or like we've seen them and we're like, we don't know if that's the right vibe. And like even our newest addition, she came in and it was like, oh, she fits.
Yep.
She gets it.
Yep.
And like it's so incredible. And then I don't even what was it after? Was it after The Conjuring or was it after Lizzie Borden that we talked about the podcast?
Lizzie Borden. We were listening to Morbid and I was like, you know what? I bet you we would make a really good podcast.
Yes.
And I was like, we have their kind of energy. And she's like,
Morbid. I got my weirdo Morbid t-shirt on today.
I love Morbid.
I love shout out to Ash and Elena. We adore them. They're amazing.
Yes, they're wonderful.
But I ended up buying equipment, like this janky equipment. I was like, all right, I bought it. We're going to start. And she's like, oh.
I was like,
okay.
Oh, you want to do this now? I thought this was like down the road after we done. No, she's like, and
right
that's
now.
That's how we work. She says, this is what the plan is. This is what we're doing. And I'm like, great, let's go. Like, that's just how we vibe. And that's where we balance each other. I love her for her romanticisms and everything is just so beautiful and sunny. And I'm over here like, girl. She was talking about floating heads one day and she was like, just like floating all. She kept like doing this with her hands. I'm like, stop talking about them like they're all like bouncing around in a Disney movie. I'm like, this is not cute.
It's just a little whimsy. Why not have a little whimsy floating head,
Exactly. Everything. It's just like, it's so funny because we balance each other so well.
I love it.
And I think that is just help.
She's my Daniel. Because I'll walk into a place and I'll be like, oh God, I'm going to throw up. And I'm like, the vibe is off. Like, it's heavy. There's something wrong with this place. And I'm like, I'm going to puke everywhere. And she's like, I don't understand.
I'm like, all right.
It's a little stuffy.
Yeah, she was like, we were in a location. She goes, oh my God, I'm going to puke. I said, please don't puke on the Victorian desk. We do not have enough money to replace that. Like, if you're going to puke, let's go back outside. I was like, we don't have the money to replace that.
But that's the woman in you. My husband, if I say I'm going to puke, he's probably not going to hear me the first time I say it. He's not listening. He's not listening. He's like, if there's a placard somewhere, he's reading that. And I'm like, I'm going to be sick. Never mind. I'm just gonna walk outside. I'll be outside. I walked into the Salem Witchboard Museum and I got to where that chair, if you go in there, there's a big chair and there's a story behind that chair. And I was like, oh. And Daniel's like, look at all these boards. So much to read. I love him. God love him. We gotta have it. Everybody needs a Daniel,
Everybody needs a Daniel.
You
grounding.
Exactly. And I mean, we will do it for each other back and forth. There are plenty of times where, oh my God, remember the Widow's Peak at the.
So at our favorite place in the SK Pierce Mansion, there is a Widow's Peak. And she was so excited to go up.
I was so excited. I have always wanted to go into a Widow's Peak growing up. I was like, and so our tour guide was like, here you go. And
So I'm walking up the stairs
You
and I'm
were
like,
done.
no. I don't think this is a good idea. I
Mm-mm.
don't feel good. I think I'm going to throw up. Like something's wrong. And my heart started racing and I started having an anxiety attack. And she's behind me
I
going,
hate when that
oh,
happens.
this is beautiful.
I was up there like, I was like, oh my gosh, Jilly, look at all this. This is incredible. She's having a fucking panic attack behind me.
She's like, let's take a picture.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, quick selfie. And then she's like halfway down the stairs of the photo. She was like, I'm not.
Just the back of her head.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because she was walking up in front of me and she got like to the second to the top or maybe the top stair. And I heard her go, oh. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I was like, what's up here? What's going on? I was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. I didn't realize it was a, oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we joke, and you've probably heard me reference the giant bug. Like my
Mhm.
husband always said it was a bug. So our closet light, so I had the walk-in closet in the bathroom. He had the closet in the bedroom, but there was no light. So we put this motion light. So my husband's like 6'1". If he has his boots on, he's 6'2". He's not a small man.
Mhm.
And at the time, he was probably about 260 pounds. Like he was not a small man.
You
And
big boy.
so even him going into the closet, he would have to raise his hand up to get the light to come on. So if I went in, I could be dilly-dallying in that closet for a few seconds before that light registered my short ass, oh, there's somebody in here. Oh, hi, I'll turn the light on. So this light would just come on. And he would say, it's just a bug.
Oh my God.
If that is a bug, we have a problem because that is a giant bug. We need Terminex and Jesus now if that is a bug because
Together.
roach.
They need to show up at the same time and work in conjunction.
Yes, because we have a problem if there is a giant, like all I could imagine, what is it like? What is that? Movie. I'm not going to remember, but it's a giant bug movie from the 80s or the 90s. And it's like, and it's just a giant bug. Maybe it's Beetlejuice or something. And I'm like, that must be the bug that was in the closet. Because it was a giant bug. Speaking of Beetlejuice, when we moved into this house, we were watching the new one. And it was all of us. And then our dogs were on the couch with us. And I knew there was a presence here, but I didn't know at the time who it was. I just could pick up on the energy.
Mhm.
Our trash can was an automatic trash can and it never opened on its own. And all of a sudden one day while watching Beetlejuice, the trash can opened and we all turned around because our kitchen's behind the living room. And then it's like it moved behind the couch and my computer, which had been asleep for hours, something hit the mouse and the screen lit up. And I was like, and everybody looked and they're like, I was like, where's Mandy, my dog? Because my dog used to open the trash can because she learned that she can wiggle her nose in front of the trash can and open it.
Matt's dogs know that. Yep.
She was sleeping on the couch, so it wasn't her.
Oh.
So we ended up taking the batteries out, more for the dog, not the ghost, because she was a problem. She's a problem sometimes. Where is she? She's not, she hasn't made her way in here. So she's usually she has scared guests before because I'll be sitting there, this before I got this chair, and I had a lower back chair so you could see behind me because I have a really cool setup back there. But I'm old and my back hurts, so I had to get a better chair. So anyway, yeah, I was sitting here and I was interviewing Chris from the Wandering Road podcast. He's such a sweetheart. And he was telling me about one of the darkest times of his life, one of the most I was sucked in. I was like, and then my dog jumps up behind me and the light is in her eyes. So it's two beady eyes. Chris about has a heart attack because he's telling me about the scariest thing that's ever happened to him in his life. And all of a sudden there's two beady eyes coming from around my corner. Something grabs me. It's her paw. She's grabbing me. And I was like,
Oh my God.
That was one of them. He goes, oh, good God.
Right, you go,
His little voice, his voice trembled. He was talking. He goes, ugh. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
That's just my dog. Oh, and then the other day I was on an interview and her bed is in that corner and you can see her walk by and somebody goes, I just saw something move behind you. And I was like, oh, it's just my dog. It's fine. I try to tell people if my dog's in here, but I forgot that day. So.
Well, we had only, backtracking because ADHD. What else do we do?
I follow along. It's fine.
When you were talking about like having somebody else like being able to corroborate an experience.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple weeks ago, or gosh, how long has it been that we were in here?
Oh God.
Yeah.
That was a couple months ago now.
Okay. So we were recording in her library where we always record. And we were in the middle of joking about something.
We were joking about the fact that we don't use Ouija boards. And then
And why?
because we were
Yeah.
we were talking, we were doing like an after dark of like
That's right.
games you don't play at 3 a.m.
Yep.
And one of them was Ouija boards.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just, bantering as we do. And all of a sudden we heard a laugh.
Yeah.
And we both stopped dead. And I looked at her and I went, "That was you, right?" And she went, "No." And I went, "No, that was you." And she, "No." And I was like, "No, that was you." Like,
tell me it was you.
I was like, "Stop arguing with me. I can't believe this is anything else right now." Like, it was so quick.
Yeah.
And it didn't even get pulled up. Like, our audio didn't catch it. It just like
it came in as like almost static on our recording, as if like it was fumbling with our equipment.
Like, and we usually wear like little microphones, so we don't have anything that like somebody could go out and touch.
Right.
Right.
So, and we had said to each other, I think the next time we ended up recording when we were talking about it, it's like, if there wasn't somebody else in the room when that happened to be able to be like, "No, I did just hear what you heard." Because like I would have been like, "No, it was the neighbors outside. No, it was the dog downstairs."
Yes. It's so easy to just write it off and let it go. So when we were dealing with the house, and I would hear the voices throughout the morning, usually in the morning. And so I think my feeling was he would get up early, come downstairs, drink his coffee, and because it was very rhythmic. There was like when the steps down the stairs or the baby gate rattling was always happen around the same time every morning. And so it was almost like he was just going about his day. And even though he was a very intellectual, like spirit, but he was also a poltergeist, like he was a little bit of everything, there was still some residual. It seemed just like he was in that pattern, get up, come downstairs. Well, one morning, it was like 5:30 in the morning, and I was awake, but I didn't want to get up yet. So I was just kind of laying there in silence. The closet light came on, and I heard, "Hello." And I didn't realize Daniel was awake. And I went, and I noticed him stir, and he's like, "I heard that." And I went, "Good."
Oh my God.
Like, that's all I needed. Thank you.
Yep. So his first experience in the house, like his only experience. Now, him watching me channel, thank God he was there, because he had finally said, "Enough, she's done." Because I was like, have hyperventilating, panic, like crying. He was draining me of energy, but it was the first time like I truly had like that kind of communication with him, like that, where I could tell what he was answering. So God bless him. He was like, "No, she's done. Like, she's done. Got to get her out of here." So his first experience, so my husband has epilepsy, and he had about 3 weeks after we got married in 2022, he had a seizure at work, and it was triggered by we had gone to work out, and he had took some pre-workout, and we did not realize that pre-workout will metabolize his seizure medication faster. And so he ended up having a seizure at work and losing his job. And now me with the court system, I'm like, we need to sue him. We need to sue him. That violates the ADA. I mean, I was hot. I was mad. So he had got another job that he could kind of work from home, but it was downtown. So that way he could ride with me to work, because my office was downtown. And so we were doing that, and he had to get some kind of licensing for this job. So he was staying up really late to study. And he was sitting in the living room right next to the sunroom, and the light came on, and I was in bed. He was the only one up. And he said, because I had told him many times, they're just people, talk to them like they're people. And he was like, "I don't need that on. Thanks for turning that on, but I don't need that on. Can you turn it off?" And then he said he went right back to studying, and the light went off. And he was like, "Oh, okay." And then he came to bed. Now, the experience that kind of sold it for him, though, we were in this house. My grandparents are always with me, always with me. And my grandfather does not like when I'm upset. He has been with me through every marriage. He's like, I collect husbands, but I'm kidding. I really don't. But I had some bad experiences when I was younger. My dad says that first one doesn't count. So anyway.
There you go.
So,
That's just a tryout.
exactly. Just a little test drive and it failed. It was fine. Anyway, we don't talk about that one. So I was upset. We have, like I said, we had a really traumatic year in 2024 because of he had a seizure. And then after that seizure, like we had carbon monoxide in the house. We didn't know it. And that he was sleeping on the couch and sleeping right next to the return. And that ended up any kind of interruption in the brain can trigger a seizure, especially if you're epileptic. Any kind of threshold, that's the lower threshold, anything. So he had taken the kids to school, ended up having a seizure right outside of the neighborhood. And I say at the time it was hard to see the blessing through that, but my senses were so high during that time. I had walked in the house and I had smelled something weird. And I was like, what is that? And so I called the gas company because I thought it was gas. The gas guy, and Daniel's like, you don't need to call anybody. You're being paranoid, blah, blah, blah. He's always such a naysayer. We love him, but God damn it, Daniel, shut up. So the gas man comes and he is the most country bumpkin little man. We are in South Carolina, but he is so country. And he walked around the house and he goes, ma'am, now you don't have a gas leak, but you do got you some carbon monoxide and you need to get out of this house now. So our furnace had cracked and it was pumping CO2 into the downstairs and the basement where me and my husband and our son slept. And I smelled it. And
you can't smell CO2. You can't that. It has no scent. No. Oh my God.
Whoa.
But I smelled it. I mean, like, I'm lit up. I smelled it and I didn't know what it was, but I know I smelled something and it was strong enough to worry me. And I was worried because I've never had gas in a house before. So this was the first house I've ever owned with a gas furnace. And he came and it was completely cracked. And it was February, like January 29th was his accident. I smelled it like February 1st. And so he was sleeping next to the return and it was just pumping through the house. And if we hadn't caught it, my girls on the top floor, they had an electric unit or whatever. I don't know, not a gas furnace. There's no telling what could have happened if he hadn't had a seizure. We wouldn't have been so on edge. I wouldn't have probably noticed anything. And we also, that was kind of a trigger to a lot of things that happened with his ex-wife. And it was like one thing after another. And everything turned out to be a giant blessing in the long run. It was really shitty when it was happening, but it almost had to happen to get us to kind of bring light to what was happening behind our backs that we didn't know about, for our children's sake, for the house sake, for our own health. It was incredible. I mean, not in a good way, but it turned out to be really incredible in the long run. It was, you really, really had to zoom out to see the good in that situation, but we all made it out alive. Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God. That's all that matters. Holy shit.
And I wondered, and I was heading towards something, but anyway, sometimes I wonder, I was like, well, maybe I was delirious and I imagined this because of the CO2, but then stuff continued to happen. So I was like, okay, no, I'm not crazy. Or I'm not high or whatever.
But no poisoning here, real life.
Right. So we moved to this house and we're still kind of dealing with the after of the shit we went through 2024 and 2025 with his ex. So we're healing now. We're in that time of healing. It's all done, but we're still all healing from that event. And I was really upset with him. He had said something to me and it really upset me. And I was in my room and I was in my bed and we have a fan with the old school. This one does have the chains that come down and they were completely still. And they were just kind of wiggling a little because the fan was on, but they weren't shaking or flying or anything like that. They were just kind of, moving with the fan. And the more upset I got, they started swinging. And then they hit each other and swung up. And they were, like somebody walked by and smacked them. That's almost what it looked like. Whoa. And he's sitting there like, and then I was like, if that's somebody in here, can you stop them? And so they slowly slowed down and stopped. And then I was like, can you make them click again? And then slowly yet surely you see them start to speed up. And then they boop. And then I was like, can you stop them? And they stopped. And I was like, who do you think it is? And he said, that's your grandfather. I said, you damn right. He doesn't like when I'm upset.
So you better be nice.
You better watch it. I got that protection from the other side. When I say I'm divinely protected, don't play with me. I'll tell the crows and Papa Sam, don't play with me.
Oh man.
Wow. You have had some experiences.
Oh yeah. Like seriously, if we just recorded all day long, I have so many. But the way I kind of explain it to people, because some people just have like one experience their whole life and that's it. Or some people, I don't believe people have none. I just don't think they're aware that that's what they experienced. But when people start talking to me about mine, I'm like, oh yeah, I had that one time, and they're like, what? What have you not experienced? I'm like, I don't know. Because like I can astral project. That's a fun thing that I didn't know I could do. But I do that when I'm stressed. I did it the other night. I had fallen asleep and I was really stressed. Like my mind was racing. And before I knew it, I was standing at the top of the stairs and I fell in November off the front porch and hurt my ankle. So I found myself, I always fall downstairs, like one stair, which is really pathetic. Like I should fall down the whole thing, not just one. That last one is a doozy for me for whatever reason. I was standing at the top of the stairs, but I started to fall and it was very real because I could see the hallway. I could see the stairs and I gasped. And then all of a sudden I was in my bed. So I had astral projected like I was going downstairs and I screamed and my husband like jumped out of his skin. He's like, what? And I was like, was I not just at the stairs? He's like, no, you were asleep. And I was like, I must have astral projected. Astral me was about to tumble down the stairs, the whole staircase.
Astral me was scared as shit.
Yeah. The first
I
time
have astral projected once.
Were you sleeping?
No, I got in a near fatal car accident when I was 18. And I don't remember the initial accident, but I can recall standing on the other corner, looking at the back of the vehicle and seeing the smoke and the glass everywhere. And then the next thing I remember, because I was in the back seat and my face hit the back of the headrest. So the next thing I remember, I was leaning against the back of the headrest like this. And I opened my eyes and I looked to the passenger seat and I see my cousin and the dashboard was all the way up to her waist and she was like laid over it. So I was like, oh my God, she's dead. And then she started moving. So then I knew she was alive. And then I heard we had gone around a car at the intersection. So then I heard people outside. Now at this point, I didn't know if I was alive or dead because I had just remembered standing on the outside of the vehicle. So I just started screaming because I didn't know if I could hear me screaming or if they could hear me screaming. It was like I didn't know if anybody else could hear this right now, but like I need somebody else to hear this right now. And that was the last thing I remembered before waking up in the hospital 2 weeks later. But
God.
the standing on the side of the road was like so confusing because I remembered being in the car and then I didn't remember hitting. Like I remember driving down the road, don't remember hitting, but I remembered standing in the middle, like on the side and staring at the back. Like I can still picture the back of her Jeep. It was angled like this. We had hit on the right side. The front end was fucked. There was smoke, glass everywhere. And then I remembered waking up in the car.
It almost makes me wonder, like, did you astral project or did you die for a second? Like
Sure.
you smashed your face. Like it makes it just like, like almost, I mean, honestly,
I was life starred. I was life starred to the hospital. So
almost like your heart stopped for a second.
yeah, possible. And then to tie it all together, the lady that we were talking about who has all the feelings, Lynn, she was actually one of my nurses at the time. And we, 17 years later, ended up working together and had no idea until I was telling the story. And she was like, wait, when was this?
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah. And she was like, you were my patient. And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Oh, here comes the dog. The dog has entered the studio.
Okay.
Yeah. That when I astral projected the first time, I astral projected outside of my house. And when it's almost like when you're astral project, it's like that instant there you are. There's no kind of like process to get there. You're just somewhere all of a sudden. And I could feel the cold pavement under my feet. And I looked down and see I'm in my pajamas. And I'm like, I'm outside in my pajamas. And I was crouched down behind my husband's truck. And I'm like, why am I outside my pajamas? Why am I outside? Oh my God, somebody's going to see me. So I get up and everything is really blurred on the sides when I was walking, but it was very in focus in front of me.
Yes.
And so I'm walking so I'm walking up the stairs and the door is unlocked. I'm like, why is the door locked? Why is the front door open? Oh, well, who left the lights on? Me. To bring it back to the beginning, who left the fucking lights on? Then I'm going into my bedroom, wake up, and I'm in my bed, and I'm like, what the hell was that? And then my friend goes, oh, you astral projected. I was like, what does that mean?
Why can I do that?
And I'm telling you, I never did this before this house. This was this house. It was the energy in this house. It blew every sense I had wide open. And I was so worried when I moved that I would lose it. And then here I am, more sensitive than ever, reading people's minds and, having a conversation with my daughter when she's just thinking about it. And I'm like answering her and she's like, I hate when you do that.
Oh, I so wish I could do that to my son. I have a 12-year-old son, so it's always like, how was your day? Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They know.
Okay.
Great.
Awesome.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep. So my kids currently are 13, 14, 15. We're about to have 14 and 15. So yes, they're the same way. Fine. Listen, I know it wasn't fine. So you might as well tell me, oh, something happened on the bus the other day and they didn't want to tell me. And I was like, oh, what happened on the bus? And they were like, well, and then they started talking out loud. And I was like, oh, okay, enough. I'm good. And it didn't involve them, but it involved a boy on the bus. And I was like, no, I'm good. And they kept it's like they were joking about it in their head. I'm like, listen, I'm going to need you to leave the room. Okay. Okay, I can still hear you. I don't need to know everything. I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to tell me. I'm good.
Yeah.
All the information I needed. So, yeah.
Mom's putting up Mom's saying enough. I'm saying no more. Thank you. Love you. Go to your room.
Yep. Love you so much. Go ignore me for another hour. Give me a minute.
Yeah, like you have.
Yes. No, my girls are obsessed with me. And I literally have to peel them off my body. They are not here. They're with their other parents this weekend. Or not the youngest. She doesn't see her mom anymore. But so she is at my ex-husband's house with my daughter. And we now share custody of our girls with my ex-husband.
That's wonderful.
That is so amazing.
They are such a blessing. So I'm the type of person, I don't have enemies. I don't hate anybody. Now there are people I don't, oh no, I take that back. There is one person that I absolutely hate on this earth, and I will get through it one day. But my ex-husband and he's 16 years older than me. We got pregnant, we got married. We thought we were doing the right thing. It didn't work. He's a great person. He's married to a wonderful woman. This woman has helped me raise my daughter since she was 4 years old, so they're wonderful people. And they were like, you can always send both of them over here if you need a break. And so Daisy's my birth daughter. And she's like, Mom, can Victoria come with me? And I'm like, well, ask your dad and Tamara. And so they're like, yeah, she's always welcome here. And so, yeah, we gotten to the point where both of them go sometimes to his house and gives me and my husband a break. And it's quite lovely. Quite lovely.
That's very nice.
Hey, it takes a village, so that's
right.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
People will be like, oh, I can't believe your relationship with your ex-husband is so weird. Like when I was dating, before I met Daniel, I had one guy and he got really upset that me and my ex-husband communicate well and that like I can literally, if I break down in the middle of the road and had nobody else, I can call, like even married still, like say Daniel was on the road traveling, I can literally call my ex-husband and he will drop everything and come and get me because I am the mother of his child. I am still the mother of his child, and he has nothing but love and respect for me and vice versa. Like, but this guy was like something. I said, ugh. If there are no problems between me and my ex, and if you are going to create a problem, then you are the problem and you need to leave.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm going to my son's father's after this, and he's going to change my oil.
See? Exactly.
Like, yeah. I always said, almost to a fault, I guess, my parents did a wonderful job of demonstrating constructive, healthy co-parenting. Like if I was grounded at one person's house, I was grounded at the other person's house.
You're damn right. So is me and that's how me and my ex are.
And so, I mean, my dad cheated on my mom years ago, whatever, this, that, the other.
Mistakes were made.
Yep, my mom has since remarried. My stepfather has since passed, but the relationship that my mom, my stepdad, my dad, and my stepmom had together blew people away. Yes. Like I'm saying, my dad and my stepmom live half a year down in Florida. My mom will go and spend the weekend in Florida with her ex-husband, but my stepmom, because her and my stepmom are like best fucking friends.
That's how it should be.
It is, but it is such a foreign and I have to like break it down for people. I'm like, listen. I'm like, he didn't cheat on her with this one. That one has come and gone. These people are adults. Like, let them be friends if they want to.
If it doesn't bother any of us, why does it bother you?
Exactly.
People just want to be bothered. People just want to find shit to be bothered about. Y'all live your best life. You know, get the laugh wrinkles, but don't get the angry wrinkles. You know, angry wrinkles, they're no fun. You know, get the laugh wrinkles. Have fun. Enjoy life. Life is too short to be a pain in the ass and be a crotchety bitch. Because if you're going to be a crotchety bitch in life, you're going to be a crotchety bitch in death. Trust me, I know because I don't. We don't want that, even though maybe it might make for an interesting episode every once in a while. You wear people out. Stop it. Don't do that.
Yeah. You're going to drain our energy and it's not going to be fun.
Yeah. We're not going to want to talk to you.
Yeah. Don't be an energy suck. Oh, energy vampires are the absolute worst.
Oh, absolutely. They're the worst. And you know they exist.
Oh, yes, they do. Oh, and because I'm an empath and I'm very white light, I attract them. I always joke, my sensitivities, I attract spirits and psychos, baby. Woo! They see me and they're like, ooh, she's fun. And I'm like,
shiny penny.
Yep. I just wish I could. I'm telling you, I want crows. How do I get a crow in my yard?
I've been asking that. My husband's trying to beckon them from like Burger King to come home for me.
I saw them I saw them at the cabin.
Really?
No, I have tried so hard.
They're all at my house, guys. I'm sorry.
It's because she's the German Shepherd and I'm the Golden Retriever like you.
Okay. Well, I see that's the thing. I think I'm very black cat energy, but I can be very Golden Retriever energy as well. But I'm also very black cat energy. But yeah, I have been trying to get me a crow and I'm like, I'm over here. I won't shoo you. Come on. My black cat might kill you. I'm sorry in advance for that because she is a apex predator that's big. She's just a little bite-sized asshole. She's just a murderous little
bite-sized asshole.
Little murder mittens.
I had a vision the other day that she brought a dead bird into my room and I panicked and I was like, because it was very real. And I was like, oh God, where's the dead bird? And I looked everywhere. There was no dead bird. Right. Well, then a couple days later, it was at night. I walk in and I see feathers. And I was like, did one of the dogs tear open a pillow? And then I was like, oh, and I look under the bed and there's that dead bird.
Oh,
I was like, damn it.
Saw that coming.
Yep, saw it coming, but yeah, see, I always say I'm the worst psychic ever. Can't do anything about them. I get visions, can't do shit about it. It does me no good. I just have anxiety about it until it happens. The worst
You're like, thanks. It's the best.
Yep. Like I will have visions of stuff that people are gonna do. Does me no good. I just know. So when it happens, I'm just like, okay, knew that was coming. Whatever. And my husband's like all upset. And I'm like, I told you it was gonna happen. Ungrateful.
You didn't want to believe me, Daniel.
Was just a bug, Daniel. Oh, God bless Daniel. He's a good man.
Bless him. Absolutely. I used to have dreams when I was younger, and it was something that was happening, and then the next
Right.
day it would happen, and
Yep.
I would be like, I've done this before. What in the world is going on?
Yeah.
It's
I have a
not
problem
as
with
common
doubting
now.
myself. Oh, well, I don't know if that's depending on how you feel about it. That sucks. Unless you like it, then yay. But that happens to me a lot. It's usually right before it happens. Like now, sometimes I get them and it'll happen a few weeks later. Like something with the case that we were dealing with. I was like, this is going to get dismissed. This is going to get dismissed. And I told him. And then when the phone call came that it was getting dismissed, which was a good thing, but she, drug us through the mud for 2 years. He was just like, it was so senseless. It was so pointless. And she tried to ruin our blah, blah, blah. And he was so upset. And I'm sitting there, but babe, I had a vision that it was going to get dismissed. It's getting dismissed. Like, look, I was right? Like, I'm having a moment. Well, I was right. And I told you. And he's like, looking at me like, you asshole.
Right? He's like, you really want validation right now? Right now? Can you give me 20 fucking minutes?
Exactly. That's exactly. Meanwhile, I'm like, I was right. There was something else that happened recently, and I was like, I was right. He's like, I'm like, oh, never mind. We'll celebrate later. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll circle back.
Yeah. You're like, small. Okay. Yay. Yeah. Right. I got it.
Yep. That's what my girls do.
I know. I don't know what it means, but I do it
Clock
too.
it.
Clapping.
They're clapping. Clock it. They call it clock it. They're clapping. You did good, Slay Queen.
Yeah.
All that.
You did good, Steph.
I know. I have
hate to
3
use.
girls saying. I love them. I love them like on a parental level. Like I love my children, but Lord have mercy, they get on my nerves, man.
Oh God, yeah. I hear you.
The Riz, they say look over there, and you look, and then they're like, I'm like, stop touching my face. Stop.
And we work at dermatologists, so we'd be like, don't touch me.
Exactly.
You know what I had to put on today.
Right.
My girls are like, they'll get in my makeup. I'm like, ooh, I don't share my makeup with you. Like their face is all broken out. Don't you use my makeup.
No.
No. Light them up.
I'll tell you what. I need to like put a deadbolt on my door or something. I do have a sensor on my door, so if they do go into my room, I get a notice, and I'll be like, "Why are you in my room?" Now, when they're like, "Oh, I hate that you're psychic," I said, "No, I just have a sensor on the door. That one's not being psychic."
You're like, yep, nope, can't even blame this one on the abilities. This is good old-fashioned electronics.
That's right.
Lock that. I'm such a loser.
That was perfect. Very good. Very good.
Oh my God.
Y'all are fun.
You are a good time. Oh my God. Also, I've already counted 3 orbs behind you.
So they could be dust, but if they appeared from over here and you could see them and they look about this big on the screen.
And then they just go up.
And then they disappear through the wall. That's what I don't understand. I've watched them disappear into the wall. And I'm like, where'd they go? And so I will say, so this is my grandfather on my Puerto Rican side's camera. And I keep that in here because I'm a photographer. That was my first kind of creative journey. I started being a photographer in 2012. And I did that up until 2023.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I like to show this off because I tell people I find dimes in the wild. If you ever see a post of mine about a dime that I have found a dime randomly at my toes. I found them in the softball field. I found them in the bottom of the pool, at a bar, and at the Crescent just this past January when I was there. So these are the dimes that I have found in the wild, and they come from my grandparents.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love that.
In random places. And this is the dime that I found on the softball field. Uh-oh, I dropped it. Shit. Now you can't see it. Hold on, let me see. It's like this game. There we go. Okay, this is the one that I got a phone call from my father. I was on the middle of a softball field with my daughter while she played, and he told me life-changing news on the phone. And I was stunned, and I had all these emotions running through my head, and I didn't know how to feel. And I looked down, and there was a dime in the grass right at my toes. And I knew that was my grandfather telling me, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all
Wow.
right. When we had our court case, I love this one. I talk about it. I don't not say names, so I don't want to get sued. But so when this whole custody case started, it was horrible. It was horrible. She painted us in the worst light. We have custody of all three of our children. So this was huge. When somebody tries to take two of your kids away, that is like
Yeah.
Oh God.
gut wrenching. So this was our first court case or first hearing, and it was an emergency hearing because we're terrible parents, apparently. And I get there and I park. Because at the time my husband couldn't drive because of his seizure. So I found this parking spot, and I don't like parking next to people. So I'm very good parking all the way in the back and walking, because I'm like, little walking never hurt anybody unless you get hit by a bus. So we parked.
Let's get hit by a bus.
That might
I say it all the time to my kids. Little walking never hurt anybody unless you get hit by a bus. So I opened my car door and I look down, and there's a dime sitting right in the parking space, right outside my driver's door. And I was like, okay. And I told Daniel, I was like, it's gonna be all right. We walk in, the judge didn't even look at anything. She filed in the wrong jurisdiction.
Oh my God.
beautiful. Can't
Yep.
fix stupid. Can't fix
No.
stupid.
For being so smart, she real stupid. But yeah, like she had to like refile it or get it moved. And so that just drug that out, and she did things to ruin our lives. But at the end of the day, she just wasted a bunch of money because we still have our kids. So
Yeah.
when I tell people, I've said it before, I am divinely protected. Don't come for me, or I'll send the crows after you as soon as I can find them anyway.
If not, my grandpa will be there shortly.
You got that? Don't make me sick Daniel's grandmother on you, and my grandmother, and Catherine. Don't make me call out. I have called out. I will continue to call out when the energy in this house. I brought something home with me not too long ago, and I don't know if it came from the Crescent or if it came from one of the interviews that I had. But there was something standing in my room in the middle of the night. My whole body, when they're around me, I don't see them like we're seeing each other, but I can feel them. I can just, ugh. And whatever this was unfamiliar. And it was like my whole body turned ice cold, and I had all those painful chills, and it was like 2, 3 in the morning. And I was like, and I just kept looking at the corner, and I was like, you got to leave. I don't know who you are, but he wouldn't leave. He would not leave. It was almost like he was like a prankster type, and he was messing with me. So I was like, all right, you asked for it. So I called out. I was like, hey, round him up. And by the end of the day, he was gone. So
that's incredible.
So I burned dragon's blood in my bedroom to try to help clear that out. The next day, after I called out to my ancestors, me and my middle child, my daughter, who is my resident skeptic, we were in the car to go to the orthodontist for her appointment. My car, while we were 3 miles from the house, my whole car started smelling like dragon's blood sage. So he's like, I'm out.
Oh my
And she smelled it too. She was like, this smells like that stuff you burned last night. Is it on your clothes? I was like, nope. He just let me know. I left.
Wow.
Don't make me sick my grandparents on you. I will.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is
I love my grandparents. They're wonderful.
Yeah, I think they probably think highly of you too.
They do. They do. And so I didn't realize this, and I know we probably need to wrap it up because I will keep talking. But what was that? That was like demonic. Anyway, so my mother's family is Puerto Rican, full-blooded Puerto Rican. My mother's full-blooded Puerto Rican. My dad's family is Lebanese and kind of from Syria. And I was like, I always try to figure out where I got my gifts from, what side of the family, because they had to come from one of them, right? You would think. I'm pretty sure it comes from my Arabic side because of like my dad is super sensitive, and he seems like he's very in tune with people. Like he is very empathetic and he's very much in tune. But then it's because my grandmother is so present. She is so present. And it's like, I'm pretty sure I'm getting this from you. And then she came to me in my dream and yelled at me for getting involved with all this stuff. And I'm like, if I didn't talk to you, you'd be mad at me because I didn't talk to you.
They're never happy.
No,
They're never
Can't
happy.
win. Because if I stop doing this, she's gonna be like, you never call anymore.
Yep. I haven't heard from you in weeks.
Yep.
I don't know if you've eaten. I don't know if you're okay. I don't even know if you're alive anymore.
How's the family? Do you still have one? My God.
I don't even know anymore. I don't even know because you never call. But be careful. I don't want her words exactly. So I was in that in between state. My mentor had told me, call out to your grandmother because I can communicate with them in my dream very well, or in my that sleeps. I don't know what it is, but when I do get clear messages, like I'm talking, it's in that state. And so I was in that in between, and I was sitting on a couch, but I wasn't asleep. It's weird. She walked in. She had this pink blouse on, her little khakis, her little like capri khakis. And she had these little slides on with her purse and pearls, and she looked just fabulous. She walked up and she made a joke that she's taller than me because she was very short in life. She's like 4'9", 4'10", and she's like, I'm taller than you now. And then she's like, I don't like that you're into this stuff. Be careful. So I was like, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Heard ya.
Got it. But yeah, when I called out to my ancestors when I was dealing with the prankster in my bedroom not too long ago, she showed up in my dream like, I'm here. What now?
You can't do this on your own.
I tried. He would not leave, but yeah, I just got to call in my strong women on my other side. They come in and handle it.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Wow. I'm going to have to start doing that more often.
Mm-hmm.
I could keep oh girl, I could keep going. So can I tell you one more story?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So last summer, my girl's friend passed away. She took her own life. It was horrible. And she was 12 years old, 13, almost 14. She was almost 14. And on her birthday in September, I called out to her because she's very present. She likes to play with my hair. Like I'll feel her stand behind me when I'm working and she'll just twirl my hair. And when I was at the Crescent, she'll play with my hair. Like she's always with me. I was like a mom to her. It was horrible. Anyway. She loved being here. She loved me and she loved my girls. And she felt like this was home.
Mm-hmm.
And after she passed, I could feel her and this and that, but butterflies started appearing just everywhere in my house. I had butterflies in my house. Like I've never had a big swallowtail in my house before.
That's not common.
That's not normal.
Moths, yes.
Right.
But not like I have a video of me trying to save this butterfly. Now I figured out how they were coming in. My little reincarnated kitty is bringing butterflies in my house.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. So on her birthday, I called out to her and I was like, just send me a sign that you're okay. Because I haven't felt you in the house lately. I haven't felt you play with my hair lately. Just let me know you're okay. My husband took me to Marshall's. And as I was walking in the door, I looked down and in the sidewalk crack, there was a dime standing on end on the sidewalk crack. And I got home after that and I was talking to him and I was like, I really feel bad for people that don't believe in this because being still so connected with my family, but on the other side are my friends that are lost. Like it's such a beautiful connection. Oh, I wish she would send me one more, just to let me know that that dime was from her. And then here comes my youngest trotting down the stairs with a butterfly magnet. And she plops it right in front of my face on the fridge and she goes, there you go. And I was like,
oh my God.
And I went, where'd you get this? She goes, Mimi bought it for me a few weeks ago and I just thought you needed it. And I was like, when did you decide to bring it down? She goes, oh, just a few seconds ago. And I was like, okay. And so that's where that magnet is. It stays on the fridge and that is our Mora. And our Mora will, every time we see a butterfly, it is our sweet Mora. So she's still with us. What's funny is her mother, I talked to her mom last year after it happened and she's like, I'm seeing butterflies. And I was like, we are seeing butterflies too. So
oh, that's so beautiful.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful, beautiful gift.
It is. And yeah, it is. And I told her too. I told her, you better look out for my girls. I said, because don't make me come after you over there.
Right? You're
I'll
like,
send
because I'll
somebody.
be where you are someday, and I will find you.
I will send my grandparents for you to bring you to me now.
Mhm,
You better protect my girls because my
mhm.
girls have had a really rough couple of years as well. So
Mhm.
being a teenager is not easy. Like I can't even
No.
imagine being a teenager in this day and age, but she
No,
is. She's always present. She sends them little signs. Like my youngest, who is the one struggling the most, she will have dreams of Mora, and in the dream they're on the school bus, and she hands her a postie, and there's numbers on it. So I looked up the number, and it's just like it's going to be okay. Keep going. Like so. And then my other daughter, that was her best friend, and she's like, she never comes to me. I was like, it's because you don't believe in it. So I was like, you got to believe that she can come to you. And so she was having a hard time. She went to sleep and she was on the school bus, and Maura walked on the school bus and came and gave her a hug and sat next to her. And Daisy's like, it felt so real. I was like, it was. So,
oh yeah,
Oh.
oh yeah,
but she did that right after I told her, don't make me come over there and get you.
yeah. She was like, okay, coming. Sorry,
And
sorry, it
she
took me a
called me mom,
minute.
so I can, she called, what did she call me? She called me mama. Okay, mama. So, yeah, she
Oh,
heard me.
that's so sweet.
That's
Yep. And
beautiful.
this is funny too. So this came in the mail after she died. I didn't order it. And I'm like, who gave Maura a credit card? How did she get my Prime account? Like I'm literally like freaking out. Like who ordered this butterfly light? Pin Paranormal, Ashely with Pin Paranormal. She had my address from when I sent her some stickers. And so she sent me this butterfly light and did
Oh,
not tell
that's
me.
Well, that I'm sure freaked you out a little bit, but that's
Oh,
so thoughtful.
yes. And so my girls wanted it. And I was like, no, this
Mm-hmm.
one's mine.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that
This
one's
one's for me.
special.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's just part of my crazy life. Thank you for listening.
Oh my gosh. And
Oh,
that was
man.
orb number 4 just went by that way.
Now that could have been
Because it
now
came from
maybe in here.
right behind the doll, and it went right over the butterfly.
No.
That
No.
one caught my attention because all the other ones have gone this way, and that
Mhm.
one went that way.
I love that. I love it. I was on an interview the other day and I saw one and I was like, whoa. Because usually, like, I see the dust. I can see the dust in the air and it doesn't show on the camera. So when I see those, I'm like, what is that? So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
She's
am
around.
so thankful that we got to connect with you on
Yes.
we met you on TikTok because you had posted that you were at the Omni Parker house and I was like, "Oh my god, we were just there." And I'm so thankful that we ended up meeting up that day and that we were able to really meet now.
Yes. Yes. Me too. Me too. That place. I got hit with a tripod there. But yeah, that was that. Yeah. That was loved it there. Great people there. That was fun. I like the Omni Partner. That was good. I don't like the
love.
ninth floor though. Mm-mm.
Where do we stay?
We stayed on the 5th floor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the 6th. We never got to. We wanted the 10th floor, and they were doing construction, and so we got put on the 5th floor. And as we were walking up the 6th floor, because you know how like the stairwells are weird there, and so we were walking up this like half stairwell that led to the 6th floor, and that was when we heard laughing behind us, but didn't know we heard it until we got home. And I was like, Steph, I feel like something just walked through me. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, my whole left side went like tingly.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, like in the actual recording, you hear a guy laughing. And the whole floor
Mr.
was empty.
Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And we had done our first haunted pub crawl, which was so much fun.
That
And
sounds so fun.
ended at the Omni Parker and
Mhm.
heard a story about a gentleman who kept hearing laughter in his room
Mhm.
and got to the point where the only way he could go to sleep was if he got absolutely shit-faced. And so he drank a ton of, I think it was the whiskey that was in the room or whatever. And then like as he was half falling asleep, kind of that state you were talking about, he recalled hearing the laughter, but seeing a man at the same time. So
Sarah,
we
you're
had
clairvoyant.
we had heard that story, and then we went up to the 6th floor, and we're walking, and all of the doors, because they were doing construction at that time, all the doors were like open a quarter. Like if you would put the latch lock in the way, so they could. So we were like, oh, that door's open. Oh wait, oh, that door's open. But they were all only open a crack. So like I
That's
felt
creepy.
like somebody could be like peeking at any point. And we're walking so slowly. We hear footsteps behind us, and they were heavy, like work boot footsteps. So as we're recording, Jill says to me, I just felt like something passed through me. And we turn the camera between us to go behind. And as we're turning, you hear, and it's like, neither one of us, because we weren't fucking laughing at that point. And it was like, it was just so ironic that we had heard that story and then we're able to capture that evidence.
That's
it
cool.
was wild.
Yeah.
I walked through somebody in Boston too. I walked through somebody at the Granary Cemetery. Is that what it's called? Granary? There's this big cemetery in the middle of downtown Boston. There's like 5,000 graves there. I walked through somebody. I was on the path. It was just me, and I felt it. And I was like,
it is such a weird feeling.
It is so weird. And I was like, I'm not sure if that's who I talked to that night when we did the Estes method in the hotel room, because I asked to move because I was on the 9th floor and I was having full-blown panic attacks on the 9th floor. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I said, Daniel, we got to do something. So I went down. And I'm like, the counter is really high. And so I'm like, hi, I am not trying to get something for nothing, but I'm claustrophobic and I'm having a full-blown panic attack in my room. Can you move me? And so they did. They moved me down to the 7th floor. We did the Estes method that night, and I left the tripod like next to the bed, probably about 4 feet from the bed. And at about 2 to 3, somewhere in there in the morning, I get hit on the back with the tripod. And I wake up and that thing is laying across my back. And I'm like, and so I look over to Daniel. I'm like, did this bitch try to murder me? Like, nope, he was sleeping. He's sleeping. So something knocked my tripod over in the middle of the night. And I'm pretty sure it's whoever I walked through, that they had come back and they were who I talked to. And that was the only experience I had there, other than just feeling, weird, just feeling the energy. There's a ton of energy in that lobby. But yeah, it was a beautiful place. I loved it. But yeah, I can't say, I don't know if I could handle the 10th floor.
Yeah, no. No, now knowing what we know, and that being like our really first paranormal encounter.
We were so bummed too. We were like, oh man, we wanted to catch some stuff. We got to be where the action is. And then all the ghosts were like, hang on, we're coming.
We're coming. Just stay there. We'll come see you.
Yeah. They're like, we start the party up here. We're going to end up where you are. Just stay put.
Yeah. That's what I tell people all the time. I can literally have an experience I walk into a building and all of a sudden lights are flickering over my head and I'm like, is this me? Is that me?
That was me as a kid when we'd be driving in the car and you get under the street light and the lamp just goes out. I'm like, was that me? Did I do that?
Yep. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just a janky lamp. But sometimes it's like, oh yeah, that usually doesn't happen. Like I went to my friend's house one day and their lights started flickering and her husband looked at me and was like, Ashely, what did you bring with you? Sorry. They won't stay here. They'll leave with me. It's fine.
We're just here to visit. We're not here for a long time.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's what I tell my kids all the time. They're like, don't bring anything home with you. I'm like the spirits of the Crescent, they live at the Crescent, Yeah. It's not the hotel ghosts that I'm worried about. It's the spirits that are attached to the other people there that might become a little hitchhiker that I'm worried about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right.
Well, it was awesome getting to talk with you.
This has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're so welcome.
A delight. Oh my gosh.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
I'm so glad. I'm way more fun on other people's shows because on my show, I'm just, I'm interviewing. So I love being on other shows because I feel like I can tell my story the way I want to tell my story. It's not scary. It's not all scary. There were scary moments, but it wasn't scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
This was so
This
fun.
was, yeah, this was a great time. This is so much fun.
I love it.
Oh.
Y'all are wonderful.
All right.
All right.
Well, on that note,
Please and thank you.
bye. Let's just
Oh, that
our
was
little
Oh,
fun.
no.
outro.
No, I lost you.
Oh no, stop. Oh, there we go. There we go.